Hello students, in this video we will discuss about the database concepts and some points about the MS Access. So let us start here. What has been written in your book? A database contains data organized in such a way that it can easily be retrieved and manipulated. What does it mean? It means in the database, data is kept in the form of well organized manner, and we can retrieve the data and manipulate data. So here this is the definition. A database contains data organized in such a way that it can easily be retrieved and manipulated. Is it okay? Now next thing, but the organization is not just limited to manipulation and retrieval, but also security. It means the organization of the database is so complicated that it is also responsible for the security. It means when we keep the data in the database, here it is also secured, and it has many things, many methods by which we can secure the data in the database. Let us now study how database is organized. Now here we will discuss about the structure of the database, and here one thing, next heading is table. A table is a collection of data arranged in the form of rows and columns shown in student table 2.1. Thus you can see that the data is stored in the tabular form. It means what? Basically we can see that in a table there are rows and columns, and here all the data is stored. So here one definition has been shown. A table is a collection of tabular data organized in the form of row and column. So this is the definition of table, and here we see that this is the table name 2.1 students. In this student, one column is roll number, another column is names, and third column is address, and there are 3 rows in which 1, 2, 3 roll number students have been explained, and their details have been filled. So this is an example of data. This is an example of table. Now one thing here, the columns are known as fields or generally attributes, and the rows are known as record or tuple. So let us read what has been written. A row in a table is technically called record or tuple, and the column in a table is called field or attribute, which we have already explained. Now relational database. So relational database is a term used for an accumulation of data items composed as a set of formally organized tables from which information might be accessed or reassembled in numerous ways without needing to revamp the database tables. It means what? When we talk about the relational database, in relational database generally predefined tables are there, and from which we can easily retrieve the data in many forms without reconstructing. Revamp means reconstructing the tables. So here this is called a relational database. For example, for the above table 2.1, if a table is created, say learner, that stores the various activities taken up by the students, where the roll number field acts a link between the tables activities field of learner. Table on the other hand is related to the activities field of the price table as shown in the figure 2.4. Thus, collection of such related tables with respect to common field forms the relational database. So here we can see that in relational database, many tables are there which are related with some common links, and here we see that roll number is common to all. We have formed the this is the main table according to which and roll number is if we want to fill more details, we have created another table, and which is learner, in which the roll number has been written. One field is roll number, another is activity. If we want to increase more detail, we have formed another table here, table price. Here activities are there and fees are there. So here we see that there are three tables: students, learner, and price. And we can, here one thing is common, that is roll number, and this roll number links all the table, and with the help of this table, this link, we can retrieve the data very easily. So here, in case you need a complete information for the student having roll number 1, you can extract the information from the various tables and give a collection of information as shown in figure 2.5. We have created three tables regarding the students, and there are different types of the informations in different table. But here one field, that is roll number, is common, and with the help of roll number we can find the information about any student. So when we take the roll number 1, which is common to three table, we can find the name. At the roll number 1, the name is student's name is Aditi Sharma, and her address is Kolkata, and the activities in which she participates are swimming, singing, dancing, and the related fees she pays 500 for swimming, 475 for singing, and 450 for dancing. This is the information you have retrieved from three tables, which are different table, but they are linked with the roll number. So here, this is how these three tables are related, and this type of database is known as relational database, in which tables are linked with any common field, and generally these are known as primary keys. Now here, next thing is database file. When we talk about the database file, it is the collection of all of the data. So here a definition of data has been given. A database file contains the entire data stored in a database created using a DBMS. It means in a database file, the entire information is there. In a database file contains the entire data stored in a database created using a DBMS, database management system. It means when we create a database file using database management system, whole of the data is stored in this database. Let us see what has been written in your book. Database file. This is the main file that encompasses the entire set of data. Thus, a group of tables and functionalities associated with these tables form the database file. It means database files, in the database file, all the data is stored, and it also includes the functionalities which are provided by these tables. So here you can imagine the database to be a container that holds the tables and its various functionalities into the secondary storage devices like hard disk and pen drive, etc. It means here it has been given an example that we can assume that database is like a container in which all the data has been stored, and we can store this in hard disk, pen drive, etc. Now next thing, cardinality and degree. Cardinality and degree. One thing you should know, that the number of rows or tuples are known as cardinality, and number of columns present in the table is called degree. So let us see cardinality and degree. The number of records means rows or tuple, in table is called cardinality, and the number of columns present in the table is called degree, as we have already discussed. Now next thing, as we have already discussed that many of the tables of the database are related by some common field, and these are known as generally keys. And what are the keys here? Primary key, candidate key, alternate keys, so many keys are there. So here let us see what are the types of the keys here. Primary key, the column primary key is the unique key which is unique for each and every record. Primary key, the column in a table which can uniquely identify records, is called the primary key, right? It means in each table there is a column, there is a field in which each and every record is unique, and it can be utilized to connect the tables, and this is known as primary key, right? For example, roll number for every student in a class is unique, right? So it can be used as primary key. Candidate key, in case there are more than one field which are eligible for primary key, are called candidate key. Generally we use one field as a primary key, but there may be many fields which can be utilized as primary key. These type of the fields which are eligible for the primary key but we have not used as primary key are known as candidate keys, right? For example, here students admission number can also be used as primary key, but we have not used here, that is why it is candidate key. And here we can say roll numbers and admission number both are candidate keys, but here admission number, when we use the roll number as a primary key, here we use roll number as a common field in all the tables, so it becomes the primary key because it is used for connecting the links, connecting the tables. So here roll number becomes the primary key, and both are these candidate keys, and rest one is also candidate key because this has not been used as primary key. If we talk about the eligibility, roll number and admission numbers both can be candidate key. So here we can see that admission number and roll number, here names and addresses of the in a table has been shown, and here roll number is unique and admission number is also unique. So here we can utilize any of these as primary key. So here when we define a primary key, another one is also used which is eligible for this. So here this is primary key and this is admission number is candidate key, and other records are there. Alternate keys. Alternate keys are the candidate keys that does not form a primary key for the above table. If admission number becomes the primary key, then roll number form the alternate key, and roll numbers form the primary key, then admission number becomes the alternate key. Here there are two things. Clear? We have used two tables, two columns, and here if we put roll number as a primary key, this will become the alternate key. Clear? And if we make the admission number primary key, it will become the roll number will become the candidate alternate key. But here there are some fields which can also utilized as primary key, but we do not take it into the table. So these are candidates key. This is the difference between candidate key and alternate key. Now here our next topic is introduction to MS Access. As we have already discussed that MS Access is a database management system, DBMS, which comes with the MS Office package. So let us see here what has been written. MS Access or Microsoft Access is the database software from Microsoft. It is part of Microsoft Office suite of application that also includes Word, Excel and PowerPoint. We have already discussed in the first lecture that Microsoft Office comes with the many softwares, and this whole collection is known as of MS Office package or MS Office suite. And here in this many softwares are there: Word, Excel, PowerPoint and Access. These all are the part of Microsoft Office. So these are the other softwares here in MS Office package or suite. It is not only easy to learn Access, but also the graphics user interface GUI, either full form of graphic user interface is GUI, allows easy development of database queries, reports, form, etc. Such is the capabilities of MS Access that is easy possible to design a standalone application using the graphical interface. It means these are the properties that it is very easy to create a database using MS Access. And here graphical user interface, it means what? All the application, all the things, all the activities have been symbolized, and you can click on the symbols and things can be appear, things will appear and you can do it. It means graphical user interface is available to make the database which makes easy development, which makes the development of database easy, which can be utilized anywhere. So here this is very easy to use the it is very easy to use the MS Access. Now starting the MS Access 2013. First of all, how can we start here? As we know that it is found in MS Office package. So first of all, click on the start button of the computer system of the desktop, and here after that click on the all programs, and after that click on the MS Office, and after that in this MS Access will be there. Click on that option and the MS Access will be opened. So here Microsoft Access can be launched from the Windows desktop in a manner similar to that used to launch Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Simplify, double click on the Microsoft Access 2013 icon on the desktop. If you have Microsoft Access icon on the desktop, you can double click and the MS Access will start. But if you want to if there is no MS Access icon on the desktop, you will have to following steps to open the MS Access. First of all, click on the start button on the Windows desktop. Second one, from the start menu, click on all programs and scroll through the list application. Here you can scroll this, and here MS Office. Scroll through the list of applications that are displayed on the start menu and click on Microsoft Office. And here after, from Microsoft Office click click on MS Access 2013, right? So, like here when Microsoft Office has been clicked, here there are many application which are in the folder MS Office, and here MS Access is there. When we click here, the MS Access is opened. Now it is clear that how can we open the MS Access. Now let us see what are the component of Microsoft Access window. When we click on this, Microsoft Access window appear. Look at here. This is the Microsoft Access window, and here the white screen, white top you see is the title bar. Here the name of the database appear, and after that this is the quick action link, quick access toolbar. Here undo, redo options are there, and at the last of this here restore, close options are there, and here below this there is a list of tabs, and when you click, option appear in the ribbon. So here it is ribbon. When click on the toolbar, in the ribbon many option appears. Now here this is the object tab. When you click on this, the objects appear which can be utilized, and this is the work area where you can work on the tables. So this, and one thing is there, this is navigation scroll bar. You can scroll down and up using this scroll bar. So this is the simplest view of the Microsoft Access window, or this is the navigation pane. This is another pane here in which many options are there. When you scroll here, this is navigation pane, and objects will appear which you can use. Now here one by one we will discuss each and every component of the MS Access window objects or components. So let us see. Here the title bar we have already discussed. The title bar is at the top of the window, which displays the database name along with the name, the application, that is access, along with the file and the folder that it contains the database. Right here in the title bar, the application, file and folder and the database name is given. Ribbon. The ribbon is the banner at the top of the access window, which contains the tabs that allow a specific task to perform. Whenever a tab is clicked, it displays various options and icons on the ribbon associated with that tab. By default, the ribbon has 5 tabs, namely Home, Create, External Data, Database, Tools and Datasheet. By default, there are these 5 tabs. There are other tabs called contextual tab that appear when needed depending on the object that is being worked with. It means what? There are some other types of the tabs which do not appear generally, but when we do some work according to the necessity or the need, they appear. Now next thing is quick access to toolbar. Here it is configurable toolbar that offers single click access to most needed commands such as save and undo, we have already discussed. Object tab. Object tabs are used to display the tabs for the object that you are working upon. Clicking on the object tab will display its contents within the work area. It means what? In the object tabs, when we click on the tabs, the option related to this appear, and by using this we can do the changes. And now navigation pane at the left side, as we have seen that there is navigation pane. It is the area on the left side of the window that displays your database objects. In an object in Access is an item that you can create in Access. The following are the major objects that you can create in Microsoft Access 2013. It means what are the objects, what things are given in Navigation pane. In the navigation pane, objects are there that you can create. For example, tables, forms, queries, reports. These are some important things. So one by one, tables, where you can store data in the form of rows and columns. You can also create forms. Forms are created to fill the data in the database. Here, by using this, forms are windowed interface that you can create to manage or manipulate data in table group or group of tables. These forms are created to enter the data, update the data easily. The forms make easy to enter or to update the data. Now queries. Queries are statements that you can use to filter the relevant data according to your need from the table. At the different workplaces, different types of the queries are there, and these are the statements that can be loaded and saved. By using this, you can retrieve the information according to the some definite point of view now or requirement. Now next thing, reports. Reports, when you want to print that specific information, then reports are generated. Generally we can say that reports are generable printable form of the information. So here what has been given, reports are used to display the data in printable format from the table or query. And when you want to give reports or information to someone, so reports and queries are used. Now work area is that area in the window in which you can do the work. You can enter the data, you can delete the data, you can update the data. It is the space where you can edit, manipulate the content of an object. Here in the access, in this table we have already seen that this whole is the what? Title bar, and here titles are displayed. The application is this application name, folder, etc. with database name is shown. Here this is quick access toolbar. Here this is undo, redo, save are used, and here these are the tabs, and this is ribbon. And here when we click on these tabs, related options are opened. Now here this is navigation pane where many objects are there you can create, and this is object tab. When you click on here, some properties appear, some application appear, some things appear by which you can do the work, and this is the work area where you can do the work. And this is scroll bar. This is the component of access window. Now one thing, how can we close the database and access? So the general thing is generally you can click on the file and you can select the close option, and after that database will be closed. But you have done some manipulation that you have to, it will ask that do you want to save the changes, and after that when you click on OK, then it will be closed. And another way to close, to click on the close button. So here let us see what has been given. To close the database, you need to follow this procedure. Click on the file tab, which will make the backstage view appear from the left hand panel. Click on the close option. Look at this. When you click on the file, here many options appear, and you have to click on this option, and the file will closed. The file will be closed. This is the normal system. To close or quit access, simply click on the close button on the upper right corner of the access window. If you want to close the access window, then here at the corner close button is there, you can click on this and it will be closed, right? So these are the procedure by which you can close a database, MS Access, and a database and MS Access. Now here we have discussed about the component of database, and we have also discussed briefly about the MS Access, and after that how to open and how to close the MS Access and database. So now your second chapter is completed. Description of second chapter is completed.